Hello! Welcome to another week with Maze at MazeCore. Thank you guys so much for being here. I feel like I'm off center a little bit. Let's adjust this. Okay, we're good now, I think. So, anyways, last week I did an awesome video on happiness and more so the pursuit of happiness. Should we be pursuing happiness? And the short answer is no. But if you guys want to hear more about that, I will link the video down below, so make sure you guys watch that one first. Now let's get into joy, as promised. Should we be achieving or striving to achieve joy? Yes. I think that's the alternative to happiness. And so for the sake of this video, there are a lot of different ways that people can define joy, but we're going to take it off of the biblical perspective. As a Christian, this is important to me. And you don't have to be a Christian to also be utilizing this definition. But I will say, for those of you guys who are not Christians, I actually have a really good question for you guys, and I will get into that a little bit later. So, what is joy? Joy is gladness not based off of circumstance. And I think that's part of the problem with happiness, is a lot of it is, actually all of it is circumstantial. And if we're constantly chasing after something that is circumstantial, we're never truly going to obtain that, because circumstances, they come and they go, and we don't have a lot of control over our own circumstances. Yes, there are some things that we do have control over, but we also make a lot of mistakes, and that's okay. Joy is really cool because it's not based off of circumstance. It's about being okay even when things go wrong. And that's why I like joy, and why I think it should be something that people are pursuing. Now the question is, how does one achieve joy? Personally, I think, and this goes to people who aren't Christian, I don't know how you would achieve joy without God. So my question for those of you guys who are not Christian, let me know in the comment section how you believe people can achieve joy. Personally, I think there has to be two factors. There might be multiple factors at play depending on you as a person, but there needs to be at least two. And that has to be a relationship with Christ, and also a low value for circumstances. So what I mean by that is worldly possessions, worldly things, worldly desires. We need to not value those things. Because when we do, we get stuck in trying to obtain happiness, trying to obtain things that are circumstantial, which will never get us where we want to go. So if we're defining joy as gladness not based off of circumstance, I personally don't know how you would do that without God. God has taught me a lot, and God has taught me to be okay when things do go wrong, and to not necessarily be happy when things go wrong, but to still have joy in my heart, to not let that darkness sink into me. It's not always an easy thing, but it's something that can be obtained with God. Now, that doesn't mean if you're a Christian and you don't have joy all the time, that you're not a good follower of Christ. That's not what I'm saying. I think everybody has their own journey, and there are different variables for each person, because we're all unique and we all have our own relationship with God. So if you can achieve joy, keep striving for it. You'll get there eventually. But it doesn't mean that it's a reflection on your faith. At least I don't think it is. I don't think that would really make sense, because there's a lot of Christians who, they have chemical imbalances in their brain and they're depressed, or they have other problems that lead them to not having joy. Now those things can be circumstantial, and so it kind of goes back into that play. But I don't think that's necessarily I don't think that means that you don't have a good relationship with God, is really what I'm saying. But I do think that in order to have joy in your life as a whole, like your whole life, as a consistent factor, rather, you need to have God in it. You need to have that relationship with Christ, and you need to have a low value of worldly things and desires. That's the basis. But I am curious to know what you guys think. What do you as Christians think? Do you think joy is a good thing to be pursuing? I don't see really where it could go wrong personally. Do you think it's a bad thing to pursue? And same thing, do you guys, anyone, how do you think that people achieve joy. I'm truly curious to hear what you guys have to say. Maybe I'll do a response video. Maybe I won't if there's not enough responses. We'll see. Next week's video, I'm kind of debating between doing a video on self-love and how I think that can actually be damaging for people, or a video on ADHD. So we will see what I end up doing. If you guys have an opinion on which one you guys would like to hear, please let me know in the comment section below, and we will see how that pans out. But thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I appreciate all of you guys, and I will see you guys around.